Yo guys, what is up? It's your boy Young Falcon, and I know what you guys are wondering. Today, yes, is a top 20 list. Today, top 20 underrated games. I'm talking about just some underrated gems that I feel like didn't get enough attention, didn't get enough press, or even talked about that much, and they need to be brought to people's attention, at least in my opinion, and I really dig these games. Now, a lot of them surprisingly stem from the 5th generation of consoles, like the original Xbox, PS2, and GameCube, and a lot of them are multi-platform, so it shouldn't be too hard to find some of them at your local retro game store, even on eBay. Matter of fact, a lot of these games are relatively cheap, so I'll list them down below on eBay and Amazon if I can find some. There's games on Amazon, and you guys could go check them out and pick them up if you want. I also, for Xbox games, try to look for ones that are backwards compat with 360 to make the list kind of easier for you guys at home to go find these games and actually just put them in and play them. But there's some of them are kind of hard, and some of them are, you know, not on 360, and some are just on GameCube. It's different consoles entirely. So with that all being said, let's get straight to the list and let's see what you guys have to say. Alright, so number 20 is going to be Mystic Warriors, a rather interesting Konami arcade game that fell straight into obscurity. From the creators of such hits as Sunset Riders, how come this one isn't talked about? As a matter of fact, there's a Sunset Riders theater display right behind it in the first mission. Talk about cross-promotion. Anyways, the game starts off with your pretty basic story. One of your people get kidnapped in the dojo, so it's up to you to go save them. Basic stuff. But the gameplay is great. It's your typical shooter, shoot 'em up, action, hack it, slash style, which was very popular this time period. You could slide into enemies, stalk them down, you could cut them if they get too close, or you could shoot your shuriken to keep them away. Pretty good stuff. You're really mobile, you could jump around, you're very acrobatic, which makes it all the great. And power-ups can make like laser shuriken, and it just gets better. It's a really cool game, and I don't want to give away too much because it's a pretty short one. I really recommend you guys can run through and beat it. I think Mystic Warriors is a really great game. It's also got some cool levels, but I'm not going to get into it. All I'm going to say is skiing is fun. Snow skiing and ninjas. What else can you say? So overall, it's a pretty good time, and I actually really recommend it. Number 19 is going to be Afterburner Climax. I know what you're thinking. They made a third Afterburner? And the answer to that is yes, and it's pretty darn good too. Afterburner Climax was actually an arcade game at first that had a cool motion cabinet that would tilt and bend you around, which was actually really cool and was a nice callback. But unfortunately, it didn't get talked about a lot. Some people kind of knew about it, but it was swept under the radar very fast and fell into the realm of obscure Xbox Live and PSN arcade games. And you know what? That really sucks because this one is really great. It's got branching paths as Afterburner does, and there's a lot of cool things that make it fun. It's high octane and it's great. It's just you choosing a typical fighter pilot, whether it's an F-22 or an F-15, flying in there with guns or missiles and just blasting everything apart. Climax mode is great because it slows everything down and gives you a chance to lock onto your targets perfectly and see the beautiful explosions. The game is super colorful and is actually really well made. The controls feel nice and tight, and you can fly through and get everything done rather nicely. And there's even some cool stealth sections. Yeah, stealth. And it works really well. Just avoid the light post and stuff like that. It feels great. I think this game was definitely really good, and I highly recommend giving it a shot if you can. It's not too bad. I believe it's $15 or so on the Xbox store still. Maybe a little cheaper by now, but who knows? It's actually pretty good. Now, and by cheaper, I mean the game has been removed off of all markets you can purchase the game from. Apparently, I wasn't aware of this because I re-downloaded it on my PS3 and on my Android, and upon further inspection, yeah, it's completely gone. It's disappeared from arcades, everything, so I'm not sure what happened. So that makes this game both obscure and extremely underrated. So, yeah, about that. Number 18 is Ninja Baseball Batman. This game is not just a video game. It is an art form, basically. I'm joking. But in all seriousness, this is one of the craziest beat-em-ups I have ever played. You play as robotic, ninja, baseball, Batman, and no, not the superhero, people who are baseball players that are robots. You go around beating up on all sorts of baseball related objects, and sometimes not even baseball. Look at this. You are on a plane. You are literally on a plane fighting the mini boss, which is also a plane inside of a plane hangar. Who made this? This beat 'em up is actually literally genius. I'm not going to lie. It's fun, the special moves are awesome, and it's a great 4-player beat 'em up. So I beg the question, why doesn't anyone talk about this one once again? Well, it faded into obscurity mainly due to the fact of its late release, and well, that kind of sucks. I really wish it could get ported to like an Xbox Live Arcade or something like that, or PlayStation Network store, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. Please, let this game come out to the mass audiences once again, because not a lot of people got to experience this, and really the only way to experience this is through a little thing we all like to call a meme. But anyways, this game's great, and I highly recommend getting some friends together, and well, playing none other than Ninja Baseball Batman. Can we talk about the name too? This is just so great. Everything about it is amazing. Please, I want a sequel. Alright, my next game to talk about here is going to be Dynamite Comp, which is a very, very fun Sega Dreamcast beat 'em up, which was also in the arcades. It kind of has that Die Hard arcade trilogy, if anyone's played that, feel to it from Sega once again, and it definitely is made by the same guys, as you can tell by some quick time events and etc. It's a fun beat 'em up with some crazy and interesting character designs. Not all the goons look the same. I mean, of course there's repeats at the beginning, but they get really varied as the game moves on. You got like a sumo wrestling chef who just picks you up and tosses you like a rag doll. You got these 2 sword ninjas. It's really good stuff, and it all takes place on a great fight on a cruise ship, and that's just the first level. The game overall is really fun, and it's great co-op goodness once again. I really enjoy everything about this. There's a bunch of variety of weapons and items to pick up too, from simple things as a machine gun to an anti-tank missile to a anti-air missile that you will throw in a building that literally causes a nuclear explosion. I'm not joking, it's amazing. This game is so much fun. Everything about it really flows well, and of course the quick time events look really awesome, and it just works. Everything about this works well. Anyways, I really wish this game got ported, but unfortunately it didn't. Either way, it's a great title, and I highly recommend people pick it up and check it out, if you could find a copy. Alright, number 16 here is going to be Ty the Tasmanian Tiger 2. Although talked about a little bit here and there, no one really goes on about it, especially Ty 3, which is a really good game. Ty 2 is a really fun, entertaining game. Basically, the whole Australian realm is under attack by these lizard creatures and an ostrich, because why not? And it's up to Ty and his family to go back and stomp on these guys. It's fun. Double the boomerangs, buying boomerangs to make ice rings that could freeze the water as a platform for you to jump on, then melt the ice ring with the fling ring. It's great stuff, and I love the small little details they have. The graphics still hold up, and they look really good. Heck, it looks like a middle-gen 360 game, like middle of the lifespan. I'm not joking. Go ahead and pop it in if you can find a copy, which shouldn't be too hard. I love everything about it. The boss battles are cool, side quests are very varied and interesting, and everything about it really works. Also, the platforming is tight, and the camera, although could use some work, it's a little touchy, it's cool. The hub world is second best part, because not on top of the normal hub world where you go and talk to people, there's the one where you have to go to your missions where you drive around different areas and really experience this map. It's a kind of nice, cute little open world, and it works, and the driving controls feel amazing. So, you know what? This is honestly one of my favorite 3D platformers. Great characters, fun story, amazing ways to collect money to buy new boomerangs and power-ups and etc., making this game really fresh, along with great character dialogue and honestly, some pretty darn good voice acting and lip syncing for the time. And on top of that, you can find it everywhere. Your PlayStation, your GameCube, and your original Xbox. I have the original Xbox copy, and I'm not sure how all the ports go. I do believe, actually, all of them are really good. This game is awesome, and it's just really well done. One day, I might do a full review on it, but who knows. So number 16... is a game by Platinum. Platinum is known for making hit after hit, with their biggest franchises being Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance, which is really a franchise but a really good game, and Bayonetta 1 and 2. But other than that, no one else talks about Platinum games. That's the only ones people talk about. Maybe it's because it's their only good ones? No, don't you dare say that. Don't even put that in your mouth, because I'm going to tell you why. There's a little game called Vanquish. Vanquish is the best, hands down, third-person shooting action game. It basically took everything you think about Gears of War and threw it in the garbage disposal. This game is funny. It's your typical B-movie, out-of-place cutscenes with your crazy action. The first mission starts off with your basic tearing robots apart and having a blast, and then a giant spider mech thing comes and you have to take them down. That's dedication. I love Vanquish. Everything about it flows and fits. This game is simply what I like to call amazing. But no one talks about it. You have to slide around into different parts of cover, but it doesn't just look over and tap A or tap X. You literally get on your knees and boosters activate on your knees as you slide into cover and slide around the map and like dodge and bullets and stuff. The more you get hit, eventually, right before you die or take a last couple of hits, things will go in slow-mo and a little timer will activate, giving you just enough time to react to all the bullets coming your way. And when everything is slowed down and you're shooting while sliding and tearing off the robot's limbs or attachments part by part, it makes you feel and look amazing. You feel awesome and you're tearing these guys apart. I love that kind of stuff in my third-person shooters. I highly recommend giving this one a shot. As a matter of fact, you can find it at GameStop for a pretty decent price. $10 pre-owned is not bad at all, and it's for both for PS3 and 360. So what are you doing? I already told you, run out to your store, order online, do whatever you need to do, because this game, a hit. Alright, number 14 is going to be called Shinobi. No, not that arcade one or the Genesis one. Revenge of the Shinobi 3. We're talking about Shinobi for the 3DS. It's a really fun 2D platformer and it's got a lot of great things going for it, like the cool special moves. Not only that, when you beat the game and collect collectibles and stuff, the more you get, you can unlock cheat codes that help you go through the game or just let you have some fun. Like a chainsaw sword. It's amazing. Alright, so number 13 is going to be a game called Propeller Arena, an unreleased Sega Dreamcast game. It was supposed to have online 4-player dogfight. It was going to be great, and the CDI, or the ROM of the game, has been leaked online so everyone could burn it and play it and try it out. But the only question is, why didn't the game come out? 2001, and it's in New York City. That's all I have to say. On top of that, it also got the canceled arcade port thanks to this, and the game overall didn't release for both arcades and the Sega Dreamcast, which honestly, an arcade machine of this would have been sick. So why on this list if it didn't come out? Well, as I just said, there's actual ROMs for it, and I've personally played it, and you know what? It's pretty darn good. It's really fun, and it's fluid, and it's fast, and there's a lot of great action. And locking onto your opponents during the dogfight sections feels awesome. Shaking people with barrel rolls and turning and flipping around tight corners around cities and stuff, it feels great. And I highly recommend playing the game, if you can get your hands on it officially. I'm joking. Overall, it's great, and there are some actual CD copies that have floated around flea markets, and people have sold them for like $2 to $3 and didn't know what they got their hands on. Either way, this game is so much fun, and I really recommend it. Everything feels solid, and it feels great. It's just a fun dogfighting simulator game. So if you ever get the need to go and play a fun Dreamcast flying game, well, I got one for you. It's called Propeller Arena. Alright, number 13 is Mad Dash Racing. I love everything about this game. It's a 3D runner with up to 4 players, and you guys all run around on this track, and you just do crazy stuff. With 4-player split screen, which was amazing, and you all run and jump, and there's a bunch of great things. You collect power-ups on the way using soda cans to boost your energy/speed, letting you glide, run faster, go up hills, trigger traps, etc. Running across the red little platforms triggers a trap, and it's great with so many fun stages. Why doesn't anyone talk about this game? Now, Mad Dash Racing is really fun. A simple but very great 3D platformer with running elements. It's basically a racing game, but instead of being in a car or something of that nature, it's like an Olympic trial. You just run on foot with power-ups like a homing missile chicken that you throw at people and it blows up in their face. It's great. And there's so many great side events too. For example, when you go in water, you have to turn your control stick really fast to swim. It's kind of like a triathlon. It's really good stuff. As a matter of fact, it's really well made, and the graphics kind of hold up to this day. The cartoon cel-shaded visuals just feel great. They really feel amazing, and everything about it just flows and works. I love the character designs too. Everyone's kind of quirky and cool, and there's so many great people like Big Blue and Zero G, who is the coolest military dog out there. Shout out to you. Anyways, I'm a huge fan of Mad Dash Racing. Number 11 is another party game, and it's called Fusion Frenzy. It's a Mario Party style game with a tournament style setting. Basically, you go to a randomly generated city that you choose out of like a list of 4, and then it brings up a list of mini games. The random city that it chooses is basically going to bring up a list of mini games in that area. So there's a bunch of mini games. The character designs and characters are really cool, and it's got this fun techno futuristic vibe, which definitely works. There's so many great mini games, from the simple rolling around in a ball in another race style, or bumping into each other to knock each other off King of the Hill style, seeing who can stay on the longest, and ultimately who's gonna lose. With everyone's favorite and my entire circle of friends and family, Jump and Duck. It is a fast-paced reaction time game where you either jump or you duck. It's great. You have to jump at the right time, duck at the right time, and everything has a rhythm to it. The music in the game is also very top-notch, with amazing kind of beats and nice rhythms that really help you flow and just get into the game overall. The minigames are always really cool, and during the tournament, you can have a chance to earn some extra bonus points by betting when you get to the point where you're at the final end of the city, and it's a brawler where you have to beat up on your friends, collect these small little orbs of your color or a white orb, putting it on your spot to ultimately get more points than everyone else. This is great. It's really good, and overall, it's a fun Mario Party style, but great party game. So why didn't people talk about this? Well, I'm not gonna lie, because it was an Xbox exclusive, original at the time. So that may be one of the main factors. You see, this was still early in the Xbox's lifespan, and so some people might have gotten into it, but not a lot. I personally think it's a really fun game, and I just really want an HD remake, so please get on that. Then again, if we can't get Phantom Dust, let alone a new Crackdown, chances are we're not getting a Fusion Frenzy. So yeah, everyone, that is going to be it for the first part of my top 20 underrated games. Sorry I had to cut it so short towards the end, mainly due to the fact the video was going mad long. We're talking like 30 plus minutes of this, but hey, it's over, it's done now. I love talking about these types of games, and now that it's all done, come back soon for part 2, where I'm going over the top 10 through 1 games. It's going to be hype, and I can't wait to see you guys there. Have a good day. Peace.